Well, California Governor Jerry Brown, he signed a landmark piece of legislation last October, if you recall, that would allow terminally ill people to end their own life with medication from their doctors. Now, no one knew when this law would take effect because of the weird way that the law was passed. It was passed in something called an extraordinary session that was called by the governor himself. The bill wouldn't go into effect until 90 days after that session adjourned. It looks like that session closed officially this week on Thursday, or will close on Thursday, and that End of Life Act will actually go into effect on June the 9th. What this means, Joe, is that people can legally end their own life with the help of a physician here in California after June the 9th of 2016. What do you make of this?
Well, this law was passed in a rather hurried way, let's say, partly because of the Brittany Maynard case that obviously I'm sure many people remember. She was terminally ill with brain cancer and she had to leave California and move to Oregon in order to basically take control of her own life, her own body, and have the assisted suicide that she wanted. She couldn't do it at the time in California. This is why this legal turnover has been so rushed. We now have a date, June 9th. Obviously, this is the legacy that she wanted to leave behind. It was the reason she was campaigning for all of this. I personally agree with it. I think if it's your body, it's your life, and that one should be able to do what they want and choose if they want to terminate their own life early. In these cases, a doctor prescribes and gives pills to the patient that they then take themselves. So it's not that the doctor has to actually take part in the actual event, but part of the controversy around this is because the doctors have a huge element of responsibility in determining when a patient is mentally in the right state to be making that kind of decision. And there have been cases recently, there was one over in Europe where a doctor enabled a woman to have this assisted suicide, prescribed her the pills simply because she was heavily depressed over the breakup of her relationship. And her family members have accused the doctor of negligence. And so this is partly adding to the reasons of why it's taken a while for California to pass these laws and why other states still don't have them. But if they can be done in a responsible manner, then I think it's the right thing to do.
Right. Well, the officials that are in charge of implementing these measures, they say that they're looking for ways to protect from people from abuse, from this law being abused. This is what one state senator actually had to say about the bill. He said, "It's a historic achievement for California and for a limited universe of people dealing with terminal illness. It could indeed be a transformative way of giving them the option of a compassionate end-of-life process." Now, California, they put specific restrictions in place. I just want to go over them with you. As written, the law requires 2 doctors to agree before prescribing the drug. The patient has 6 months. The patient can only have 6 months or less to live. Also, the patient must be able to swallow the medicine themselves. They actually have to administer it, and they have to affirm it in writing that they're swallowing it themselves. And 48 hours before taking the medication, they have to actually do that written affirmation. So California, it joins other states like Vermont, Oregon, Washington, and Montana, all in the U.S., saying that people have the legal right to end their lives.